So tonight we're going to make Sizzling Summer Sketch number 7. And the things that I wanted to talk with you about, you guys saw you didn't hear me talking, but you saw the secret box. So just remember when you are looking at the marketing material, when you see this picture for secret box, just know that all of the items in this marketing you're going to see in the secret box. This is a hint of the color palette and the design of the secret box items. So this is oranges and browns and flowers and teals. So you're going to see those colors in the secret box. You also see those fun flowers with the little smiley faces and the peace sign. You're going to see those things in the secret box too. So that gives you a hint. If you're somebody that likes to know what it's going to be in it, that gives you a hint of what is in the secret box. Now, also, they also, for those that want to know exactly what's going to be in it, if you go out to my website and click on the secret box at the top of the website and to see the details about the secret box, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, it tells you exactly what items are in the box. Now, I'm getting mine tomorrow in my delivery. So if you want a picture of what's in the box, just send me an email or send me a Facebook message and let me know you want to see what is in the box, and I will send you the pictures. So be sure and order your secret box because we have a special crop we're going to be doing. We're just starting the planning of it, but we are going to be doing a secret box crop on Friday night, September 13th. And we're going to have some designers, some exclusive designers creating layouts with everything that's in the secret box. So it's going to be a fun night. And so the crop will be free for you if you buy the secret box. All right. So fun event coming up on Friday. Yep, September 13th, Friday the 13th. Okay. And then you guys saw, you didn't hear me, but you saw my calendar. I just posted this out to my Facebook page and all of my groups. So all of my events for the remainder of the year are in this calendar. I can't believe it's that time of year already, but yes, they are all out there online. And I'll just highlight tonight for you the ones that I have coming up in August. Let me grab that ticker again. So this Saturday is my Vandalia Library Crop. Monday is Scrapbooking 101. Thursday is Scrappy Thursday. And then on August 30th, Friday, August 30th, is a special virtual crop for members of my customer VIP customer group. So if you are someone who has ever purchased anything from me, please reach out if you're not in that group, and we'll add you to that group as my customer. You are my special VIPs. So I wanted to say thank you to all of my customers. And so we're doing that fun crop on August 30th. So those are the events going on. Okay, goodness. Nothing like starting off with no sound. All right. Thank you all for letting me know. Let me say hi. I hope you're all still here. Hello, Sue Ellen. Hello, Beth and Bev and Nancy and Beth and Janice and Lisa. Thank you all for joining. Hey, Rita. Great. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear me now. My gosh. I must have grabbed my microphone when I was moving it around and pushed the mute button. So what can you do, right? It just happens. Sometimes things like that just happen. All right. So I wanted to let you know about the secret box and that special Friday night virtual crop we're doing on September 13th, the secret box crop. So be sure and get your secret box because you get in free. And I think that was it. Oh, I also talked about Cruptoberfest. If you've never heard of that, twice a year we do fun events to celebrate the season. The first one happens National Scrapbook Day, and that's May the 1st. And we have a special collection that comes out every year for National Scrapbook Day. Same thing in the fall, we do a Croptoberfest, and it's to celebrate fall. It's actually the theme of my scrapbooking weekend, September 6th through 8th. And so we're going to be making the Croptoberfest project recipe kit. But those products are going to be available for you to purchase on August 26th. And the theme of Croptoberfest is loads of fun, and it really is an adorable collection. I'm also getting that tomorrow in my shipment. So I will have my secret box and my Croptoberfest products tomorrow. I will jump on live and share them with you guys. All right. That is it. Now let's jump over and have some fun making a layout. So remember that when you are finished making your layout, your sketch, post it out to the Creative Memories virtual crop group, and you can try to win one of the two weekly prizes that they give away. And you just want to make sure you use that Sizzlin' Sketches 7. So the number is whatever number sketch we're working on. So this week it's week 7. So we're working on Sizzling Sketch 7. So be sure and use that hashtag. And then when you are done making your layout, also update your Sizzlin' Summer Sketches coloring page. Color in each picture. And then at the end of the 9 weeks, you're going to take a picture of this and upload this to the Creative Memories Virtual Crop. And this hashtag is hashtag Sizzlin' Sketches Grand Prize. And this is a $200 shopping spree that you can earn, that you can win at the end of this challenge. And so I have been asked, do we have to upload all of our layouts to the Creative Memories Virtual Crop group in order to win the Sizzlin' Summer Sketch Challenge? I have not heard whether you do or not, so I am just going ahead and uploading all of my finished layouts. And then at the end of the 9 weeks, I will upload the picture of this. So just upload everything out there using the hashtag that you need to use for each individual layout and the hashtag that you need to use for the grand prize, and you'll be good. All right. Let's do this. So when I saw that this example was using the Cue the Blue, I decided to use up the rest of what I had. And, that's what tonight's for, right? Is to scrap our stash. And I had a little bit of, very little bit of pieces left in my Cue the Blue, which is one of my favorite collections. And I checked out online on my website, and you can still get a few of the pieces for Cue the Blue. The paper pack is no longer available, but you can get the embellishments and the vellum, and I think the mats were still available out on the website. So check that out. Just do a search here. I'm looking now. Yeah, the matte pack, the vellum pack, and the embellishment pack. Those are still available on the website. So you can still get those, but the paper pack is sold out. Also, we're going to be using the Damask Flourish, which is a very ornate and beautiful punch that you can either use as a frame or as a border. We're using it as a border tonight. But this is available out on the website, and it's in the Sizzlin' Summer Sketch Challenge marked down products. So if you go to my website and go to deals, there's a link at the top that says deals. And then under deals, you'll see the Sizzlin' Summer Sketch. Let me see what it's called. If they said challenge in there, I want to give you the exact information. Deals. Yeah. Sizzlin' Summer Sketches Deals is what it says. Sizzlin' Summer Sketches Deals. And they have a bunch of punches marked down to 1850, border punches, regular punches, border maker cartridges. Check out those deals because they have a lot of those marked down just for this challenge. So you only have until September 6th to get those deals, and then they will discontinue the deals. So check those out. And this is one of them that you can get that discounted price. All right. So I had to decide in the few pieces that I had left what I was going to use. So mine is not going to be the same colors as theirs. I am using up what I have. And I'm going to use this pretty blue. I'm going to hold this up real close. Look at that beautiful pattern on there. The floral pattern in the squares. Looks a little bit like bathroom tile. So pretty. So pretty. And in blue. Blue is my favorite. So that's going to be my background. Those two lighter blues. And then I'm going to use a darker blue on top with a white. And this one just has a very light blue crisscross on it. Oop, let me get it into focus. There we go. So just a light square pattern on this one. So let's talk about the sketch. So we have our background. And then on the right side of your layout, you're going to have two bigger pieces of scraps of paper here. Strips of paper, I should say. This one is 4 by 8.5. Let me hold this up real close. Fold this down here. There we go. So you're going to have a strip of paper over here, 4 by 8.5, and then 4.5 by 8.5. And then on this side, you have an 8 by 8.5. Okay. So basically, you are taking your 12 by 12 piece of paper, and 8 inches of it is going to be on the left side of the layout, and 4 inches of it is going to be on the right side of the layout. And you're going to cut it down to 8.5 inches. Okay, so be aware, I definitely am using a paper that has stripes up and down, and that I need to be aware of how I'm cutting it so that I get it in the right direction, in the direction that I want, right? So let me cut off. First, I'm going to trim it down to 8.5. Let's do that first. I'm going to bring my arm out, and I'm going to put my foot down. Yep, I'm talking about this foot over here on the arm. Put that foot down so that your trimmer is not wobbling back and forth. And then we are going to cut this down to 8.5. We're going to make that cut first. I'm going to turn my paper this way, and I'm going to cut it down to 8.5. That way, this piece that I have left over is in one big piece. There we go. So we're at 8.5. And then we are going to cut 8 inches. Cut this at 8 inches so that we have an 8-inch piece and a 4-inch piece. Okay, just like that. And those are going to go left and right. And then I'm going to take this white piece with the light blue on it, and that piece needs to be 4.5 by 8.5. And I'll cut this one first, the 4.5, and then cut this down to 8.5. Cut off that extra part of it first. Okay, so there we go. So let's just pause there for a minute for those who are making this along with us. So here's my background. Here is my 8 by 8.5. Here is my 4 by 8.5, right? And then here is my 4.5 by 8.5. Just like so. All right. So let's get those down on our paper so that they're not floating around and getting lost. because that is really, we have one more piece we have to cut, and then that is all of the pieces for this layout. I like to use the photo tape. These are bigger pieces, so I like to use photo tape. If you're not familiar with it, it has a backing on it, so it's double-sided tape, and I like it for bigger pieces because it allows me to get my piece positioned where I want it, and I can leave the backing on the adhesive while I do that, and then peel it off once I get it positioned. So let me show you. That's my technique. It has just worked well for me. Okay, so we want to lay this. Let's double check our sketch and our example. It looks like they have about an inch down from the top, because this is 8.5, and then you're going to have a 1-inch strip of paper here and then a border on the top of it, and then it looks like, let me hold this way up, so about half an inch to an inch at the top, and then you've got more than that at the bottom. That's got to be an inch and a half maybe at the bottom. So you eyeball it wherever you think it looks good. So let's put it an inch down. Let's try that first. Okay, if we put it an inch down, so I have it at 11 inches here, and then we're going to have an inch border. Let me just grab my 2 strips that I'm going to be using. I think these are a little bit bigger than an inch. Plus, we're going to have a strip of paper that's an inch, and then we're going to have that border on top of it, that pretty damask border. Yeah, so this is like 1 1/4. So you want to leave enough room at the bottom for your 1-inch strip of paper and that damask border that we're going to be putting down here. So I think an inch is going to be good. But like I said, if you want to move it up to half an inch and go half an inch down, however much you would like to have at the bottom. But I think I'm going to stick with an inch. I think I like the way that looks, and we're just going to go for it. All right, so I'm going to peel back just a little part of my backing on my tape, and we're going to lay this down at 11 inches. That's why I love having this 13-inch mat behind my layout, because then I can use those measurements right there. I don't have to try and use a ruler. I'm going to get this lined up with the edge of my paper. I get that little piece down, and then just pull the rest off. I hold it in place, pull the rest of the backing off. So that's what I meant by it allows me to get things in place without accidentally sticking down the whole piece and then having to try to peel it back up and reposition it. So that's my technique with the photo tape. And then we just take the other side off. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just peel a little corner of it back so that we can get it positioned. I'm going to do it this way because we're going to butt it right up against this one. Get it lined up with this one. Get it in place. And then take that backing off. There we go. So that is the right side of our layout, the 2 big paper strips on the right side. I'm going to move the left side over here. It's much easier for me to work right in front of me. And this piece needs to be on this edge, right? And it's going to be down an inch, so I'm going to put it down at the 1-inch mark. Let's peel back that little piece of the backing on our adhesive. Put it at the 1-inch mark and line it up with the edge of your paper. Oh, I need to move it just a little bit. See, and I only have to peel that little piece up. I didn't have to peel it all off the paper. The more adhesive you have exposed, the more chance of ripping your paper or pulling up some of the color off your paper if you have to reposition it. Okay. So I'm just using the 1-inch mark down here at the bottom of my mat because it's easier for me to see when it's right down here in front of me. There we go. So 1 inch down, just like the other side, and then just peel the rest of that backing off. There we go. Very good. Okay, so those are our 3 strips of paper there in the back. Then we are going to let's do our borders next. And these white pictures or placeholders really are their pictures. They did not put mats on the back of these pictures. You can do whatever you would like. If you would prefer to have a mat behind your picture, then please mat your picture. But they put their pictures right down on this area, probably because, you know, this is a different color than your background. So this serves as a mat to your pictures. But if you would like to have another mat behind your pictures, you should do that. Now, the 2 pictures on either end, those do have mats behind them. Okay, and you can tell this by the measurements they give you, because this one is a 4x4 mat with a 3.5 by 3.5 picture on it. And then this one's a 4.5 by 6.5 mat with a 4x6 picture on it. So you can tell that in the sketch. Okay, but let's work on the border first, and then we'll do those 2 pictures on either end, because I'm actually going to change that up as well. All right, so in their example, this 1-inch strip, they have 2 different patterns there. I'm going to hold that real close. They have that stripe pattern with all the different colors, and then they have this crisscross pattern right here. So the measurement says it's a 1-inch strip, but they actually used 2 different colors of paper, which is a great way to use up your stash, right? Use up some of your scraps, which is what I'm going to do because, like I said, when I pulled out my Q the Blue, it's pretty sparse. I've loved this collection and I've used it all. So I'm going to use 2 different colors. I'm going to use this dark blue, which is actually one of the pieces of vellum. You can see that it's see-through. So it's one of the vellum pieces. I'm going to cut that down to, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. And then I'll have this little guy on top of it. And that one will be, what would it be? 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut those down and I'm going to use them on each side of my layout. All right, let me grab my trimmer. And I'm going to cut this down. Oh, let's see. I won't have enough for 2 sides. So I guess I'm just going to have to cut it in half. I'll just cut this one in half. I'm going to do a little pinch on each end so I know where the center is, because this is the only piece I have left of this. And I get to use it up, so that's okay. I'm all right just to do it, cut it in half. It's still going to look good. Okay, and I'm just going to use my sight guides, these great little plastic sight guides that slide up and down inside the arm of your trimmer. They have a black line down the center so that you know where you're cutting. And it helps you line up. See, I need to move this one over. There we go. It helps for you to see where you're going to cut and make sure that your paper is in the right position for me to cut down the center of it. And it looked pretty good. I'm just going to hold on to it, onto the paper with my hands in between the arm here because it is a smaller piece. All right, very good. So there's my first strip, and then I'm going to just cut this one in half and we'll see how we want to layer this. I don't know if I'll use the full piece of this or if I'll make this one a little bit larger and kind of tuck this one underneath it. We'll see. But I'm going to do the same thing. I did a little a little pinch at each end to find the center. And now I'm just using my sight guide to make sure that black line is right there on my pinch. So I know that I'm cutting it in the center. And then I'm just holding on to it because it is a smaller piece so that it doesn't shift. Okay, there we go. So now we got our strips for each side. All right. So I could do, right next to each other. I could just line them up, put this up against these two pieces, put this one up against this piece, and then we're going to have that damask border. And that's going to go down here too. And, now that I say that, let's punch that out. Let's get it all punched out and look at it all together before we decide if, maybe I want to tuck this one up and not have as wide a strip of the lighter blue as I do the darker blue. So let's see. Let's cut out our border. So I had to decide on a color for this because I don't have, like I said, I'm low on pieces. So I thought either this one or this one I would use. This is our silver shimmer cardstock, which I think would look pretty. Or I do have this piece. I'm going to start with the silver. I did have this piece from the Cue the Blue, but this one might stand out more. I didn't want to do a dark color because all of their colors are light. They used a light background, and then that dark blue that they used for their damask stands out really nice against their light background. But if I use a dark blue, I mean, it would still look pretty, I think, but I wanted to maybe switch it up a little bit. Okay, so let's punch out this border. So I'm going to line up the edge of my paper with that black line that's on the front because we're punching a border. Like I said, you can use this punch as a border or it also punches as a frame. So we're going to use it as a border tonight. So you're going to line up the edge with that black line on the front, and there's one on each side. So if you feel more comfortable guiding your paper this way, then use this black line. If you feel more comfortable guiding your paper this way, then use this one. I use the one on the left. I'm right-handed, so it feels more comfortable for me to hold my paper with my right hand. But however you feel comfortable is how you should do it. All right, so the side of my paper is even with that black line on the front, and I'm going to punch. I'm going to bring my punch, slide my punch through, and I'm going to line up what I just punched with this silhouette on the tray to make my next punch. That's how I know where to punch. Line that up with the silhouette on the tray and then punch. Just like that. Keep doing that all the way down. It's a beautiful ornate decoration. And it makes a beautiful frame. They suggested the layout that they made would be great for any kind of celebration like wedding because this Cue the Blue does have an elegant look about it. So weddings and birthday parties and this damask definitely will lend to that celebration theme as well. Okay, so this is a punch that punches on the edge of your paper, so we'll need to trim it off. And from what I can tell, they have trimmed it pretty closely to, there's no, what do I want to say, edge to their border. They have it trimmed off right at the edge of the decoration. So, but they may have left a little bit just to use for adhesive, and you just can't see it because it's tucked under that 1-inch strip of paper. So what I mean is they didn't leave any space here. They have it trimmed off right here. But I'm going to leave a little space just in case we need some area to put the adhesive. So I'm going to line up the edge of this decoration, this little piece here at the bottom, this little curved piece. I can see through that, this very bottom part here, this little curved piece. I'm going to line that up with the second dotted line on my cutting strip here, just to give me a little bit of an edge to this border so that we can put adhesive on it. So that's how I'm measuring it. And it gave me still just very little. So if you want to do a wider edge, you're welcome to do that. But we're going to cover it with our 1-inch strip anyway. All right, let's get through this next one too. Let's get them both punched out. Lining up my edge with that black line on the front. And then lining up what I punched on the tray. Our punches are very robust, so they will punch through heavier cardstock, but you definitely don't want to use glitter paper with our punches because it will get stuck in there and ruin the punch. The shimmer paper, the cardstock that I'm using is fine. It doesn't have glitter on it, but if you use glitter scrapbooking paper, do not use them in the punches. Okay, so again, just lining up that bottom curve with the dotted black line that's on the right of my cutting mat, just to give me a little bit of an edge at the bottom to put adhesive on. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So now we have our 2 strips of paper and we have our beautiful damask flourish border. So do you want to put it right up against the edge of your papers, your 2 strips up here, and then have your damask up against that, and then have that other color on top of that? I know that's hard to see, but it does stand out. I could do a darker blue under it as a background, and maybe that would help it stand out more. Do a navy color, or let's just real quick use this piece, since this is what I have left over from Cue the Blue. And we'll do like a silhouette behind it because it is a light color, but it looks really elegant. So if you just layer them and offset the darker color behind the lighter color to look like a background or a shadow, I should say, kind of like you do with Cricut. Let's do it. Kind of like that. I know that's hard to see. Let me grab my white here. There we go. Oh, there we go. So there we go. So then you have that darker outline behind this lighter color. Just a fun little thing. Didn't think I was doing that tonight. Repositionable. The best thing since sliced bread. All right. So here it is right on top. So if I just offset it a little bit, then I get that shadow. Like so. So let's get this side, before I punch the other one out, let's get this side adhered down. So we have our dark blue, we have our lighter blue, our lighter color, and then we have, oh, we have our border, damask border, there we go. And then we have the lighter color. Oh, very pretty, very pretty. There we go. Those are the 3 layers for this layout. Now, if you wanted to, let's just try to cover up a little bit of that light color. I could trim it down too to a smaller piece. But let's just cover up a little bit and just have a little bit of the light. I want to see how that looks. Yeah, because then you can see more. I don't know. With the wider piece of white, I feel like it's taking away from the damask border. So this is how I want to do it. I'm just going to show a little bit of that other one. And I'm going to use my repositionable on this. Nope, I'm going to use my vellum. I always forget about the vellum. We have vellum adhesive. Here we go. This is vellum, so I'm going to use my vellum adhesive on it. And it disappears, so you cannot see the adhesive. Okay, so there's my vellum adhesive. I'll use my repo on this. There we go. And let's see. Let's get this lined up so that I can use my side measurements here. I think if I place it here at the half inch there, I think that's good. I just won't press it down yet. I want to see. Yep, that works. I think that's just about what I wanted. What is that? Like 1/8 of an inch showing of that lighter color. Okay, and then we're going to do our damask border underneath that. And I'm going to use the repositionable again because this has a lot of open space. So the repositionable is perfect for that. Puts the adhesive. You can see that it's little dots. I'm going to hold this up so you can see little dots. And it's great for those things that have a lot of open spaces in it. Okay, so I'm just going to try and sneak this under here. Just tuck it under a little bit. There we go. I'm going to use my multipurpose tool here. There we go. Just tuck under there. It's not cooperating. There we go. Wonderful. I love it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then I'm just going to lay this out so that you can get an idea. We're going to do the same thing over here with our border. I'll cut another piece so that I have that same shadow under on this side, and then I'm changing it up again. What happened to my... I'm missing my sketch. Well, that's odd. What did I do with my sketch? Okay. Anyway, crazy. Don't you love it when things just disappear? Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't see it on my table anywhere. Okay. I'm going to pull it up on my laptop. Let me just pull that sketch up. I think I have it right here. I do. Okay. So I apologize. Is it stuck to the back of my paper? I've done that before when we were live. Remember that? Nope. I don't know what happened to it. Okay. So remember they have 4 pictures here, and you're going to lay those right on top of whatever color you use in the center. They have 2 little pictures over here. But when I opened up my Cue the Blue, I found this matte pack that I must have put together for something else and didn't use it, that says Best Day Ever. So I'm going to use that over here because that's where they had the bigger one. I guess for me, it might look better over here because it has a dark background and it would look better on the white. So I'm not sure which side I'm going to use it on. But you have those 2 pictures. This one is a 4x6 picture. This one was a 4x4, and both of those had the mats on them. And then they did a fun cluster right up here and over on the side here. And then with this picture over here, let me just put a placeholder right there. So with this one, then they did some fun stickers and die cuts over here as well. So you've got 3 places then that you're going to decorate: up here and on the side and around the bottom corner of this picture as well. Okay, so those are where your decorations, where they have suggested that you put your decorations on your layout. So totally up to you where you want to put those. I do like this over here better. And actually, I like this. They actually kind of go together because this has the spots on it, and so does this. So I may just use these 2 mats right here for my layout, and then I'll have my pictures here. I have several die cuts, not too many, but several die cuts from my die cut pack that I want to try and use up, right? We're trying to scrap our stash. So somehow maybe I can use some of these in those places where they decorated. That actually looks cute. Then we have these little squares that came in the die cut pack. And then I have the buttons that came in the die cut pack, and just these few little sayings. And that was it. I don't have any others. So I've got this little guy up here. Maybe this little guy should go over here on the opposite corner. I like that. And then I could do like a happy times here. And then I have these 4 squares that I could use somewhere too to, like I said, use up what I have left. So I'm not sure how I'm going to decorate yet. I wanted to use these up. I don't know if it's going to work out since they're a darker color and the paper that I'm using is darker on the back. I'm not sure. But I do have the best day ever saying, and then I'll probably use one of these. I like the so handsome and the happy times. I know pictures that I take would go well with that theme of happy time. So something to that effect, using up what I have left for my decorations. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but we definitely want to use up our stash, right? That is the whole point of our Wednesday night get-togethers. All right, so there we go. Let me just put some placeholders here in the center so that you can see. These, I think, are the 4x4 was on the outside. Let's see, those pictures in the center. Hold on just a sec. This is a really small picture here on my laptop. 5.5 by 3.5, I think is what it says. So I don't have that exact size in my placeholders, but something to this effect. You can fit in these spots here, and you definitely have room for other pictures. This does not mean that you can only put 6 pictures on your layout. And I'm planning on putting one up here at the top. Best day ever, and then I'll fit a picture right up here at the top of this mat. So I definitely have room for more than the number of pictures they have. I could fit 4 over here, 4 smaller ones. I can do 3 over here. So lots of room to get lots of pictures in your layout. There we go. All right, ladies. Well, thanks again for being patient with me and my technical difficulties tonight. I appreciate you. And I hope to see you, if you are in the area, I hope to see you at my library crop this Saturday at the Vandalia Library. We're going to have lots of fun. And then I'll be back on Monday for Scrapbooking 101. So let me just say hi. I think I have some other people. Hey, Cynthia from Pittsburgh, PA. Thanks for joining. Beautiful border. Thank you very much. Rita said, beautiful. Thank you. Oh no. Beth said, oh, you are experiencing how my last night went. I kept losing things. Oh yeah, losing. I'm sure I'm going to stand up and I'm going to find where I laid my, oh, look, or I can move my trimmer, and there it was under my trimmer. It's, I just say it's my age. Okay. So yes, the pictures that they have, the 4 pictures they have here are 5.5 by 3.5. So if you wanted bigger pictures here, if you're somebody that doesn't crop your pictures down a lot, that's a great size. Then you'll have plenty of room for those bigger size pictures. All right. And then you can see the clusters that I was telling you about. On the top here, they had celebrate, and they have them all along the side here, and then the bottom corner of this picture as well. So there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you all for coming to my Scrap Your Stash, and I hope to see you next week. We will be doing sketch number 8, so we only have 2 more weeks of our sizzling summer sketches. So tune in next week for sketch number 8, and then the following week for sketch number 9. It does end at the end of August, so if you are catching up with your sketches, be sure and get those completed and post it out to the group so you can try to win some prizes. You guys have a great rest of your evening and a great weekend. and I will see you soon. Good night.